Well, this is what I usually work, and I worked the last 3-4 years, 4 years maybe. I don't know exactly the time or the date, but this is where all the preparations are made for some of the work that I do here. The contemplation, it's a small room, of course, with not really much of activities I can really do, such as carving, grinding, or welding. So everything has been done in different locations, different places. This is just a place where the work is planned or refined, or look at it. And so it's not really a studio, it's more of a laboratory. It's like a place to contemplate, and rest, and think here this way, and look at the work sometimes, the small work that's finished. The work, of course, is done in the shop. But I be coming here in a hot shop, in a cold shop, and all this technical things. So glass is very technical, kind of a material of discipline. It's not you do it, not, I don't mean that painting or sculpture is not technical, but it's sort of it's high tech, and it's also art at the same time, artistic at the same time. So it's you need a lot of equipment, in other words, you need a lot of materials and fuel and energy and all that stuff to make it work. So I really don't do it any other time of the year. I do it when I come over here. Sometimes actually it's not true, because I do go different places, but this is the place where I really start things, and I probably finish elsewhere or other places to work, or different workshops. But glass is this is the center, you know. Since I've been involved with this the last 18 years since I'm coming up here at Pilchuck. I came up here the third year to work with Dale. I mean, actually not to work, but to look and speculate and to see what was going on in this field. And so let me look, I'm looking at my bag. I have my, oh, right in here, glasses in.
Okay.
It's okay. So tape everything, don't, you don't have to cut. I kind of like when
I'll tape everything.
tape everything. So,
Okay.
so so I'll be coming up here and I'll do the work, I'll do parts, and I reassemble some things, you know, when I go back and finish some pieces here. But as I said, it takes all this technical know-how, you see. And well, as I said, you know, take this technical know-how, and I like the material. You know, I've been really working with it for a long time, and I think it's a great stuff. I mean, it's just indestructible stuff. I mean, as you drop it, you can leave it outside, it doesn't shrink or expand, or it's made. It's eternal if you don't break it. You know, if you break it, then you break it. But it's small, it's limited in a way, because you can't work on a big scale. But if you combine it with other things like I've been doing, I've been using welded steel, then I make parts for the base or the container, so it's related to the pieces. Or contradict to the pieces. Sometimes my stuff is about contradiction. Two things, two objects, and two materials that seems to work together. No relationship. So that's what I'm interested in. Using those two different things, you see. But again, go back to the Pilchuck thing. I mean, I came around with Dale, the big Dale Chihuly, at the beginning of this workshop here, which is very primitive, very crude. We experimented, we did everything. We did everything possible to do, we can do with glass. And we weren't really, they know how to do it. They know how to do the blowing of the glass or whatever the casting of the glass. I just looked around and see if there's anything I could use or could reinvent or reuse, whatever. So we did all this sort of useless experimentation, like a really, like a laboratory, you know, in a way. Sometimes things come out, sometimes, most of the times things didn't come out very well. They were developed, the experiment was here and they were researched and developed later. Lately I've been getting myself, I'm basically a sculptor. I don't work with glass when I teach. I'm a professor at UCSD. I teach as my basic profession, that's when I make my livelihood. But I'm known as a sculptor, not as a craftsperson, or as a glass artist. But lately I've been involved with the material being developed with such high technical skill that I've been doing a lot of glass. Painted on glass, cast on glass, I draw it on the paper, of course, then people would just fabricate a piece for me, or make a piece for me, such as the trees here that I'm working on now. That's what started three years ago. Somebody from Iran. I did a little sketch on the floor, and I said, "Would you make this for me?" And he said, "Yes, yes." He made a good crude kind of thing. And then last year, I asked Billy if he'd make one for me. He said, "Yes, he would make one for Billy Morris." And then he made it for me. This year, I'm competing it again. They're getting better and better each year. They're getting more developed. So that's how it started. It started with an idea, and eventually built it up to work. I don't major work. It's sort of a very peripheral part of my life. It's not, but it's a good periphery. I love it very much. It's beautiful stuff. This is a piece of mask I was supposed to do for Los Angeles Times. They asked me to do a mask for an exhibition that they had in October about outside of primitive, somewhat primitivism, modern primitivism that they're doing. So they asked me to do a mask, so I drew the mask. And the maestro, Tonya Pietra, did the piece for me out of glass, of course. And I watched him what he was doing. I prepared some colors, but this was the mask. I don't particularly great admire making masks and stuff, but this was a problem that was set for me to do. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And I sent it, and he made two. We usually make two. One, first and more of an experiment, and the second one is usually better or worse. So I kept this one here. I like it. That's the drawing in the back. This is a piece we did 2 years ago to paint on it, make an image, just to paint with flat paint. Then, of course, put it back into the oven to arrest the paint and make the paint permanent. But it was about 10 years ago. It never happened. We didn't know how to do it. We didn't have the technology or the paint. I couldn't get the reds to work, the blacks wouldn't. So we just waited until the right time came, which I'll probably eventually come to it. Those are some cones here that I made for other pieces, other parts of my sculpture. They were held by ring, and it's held. Perhaps I can put things inside. They are used as containers, either branches, flowers, or whatever, dry stuff, whatever the viewer desires. It's mostly about the viewer. You see, I leave that freedom to them. So I have a few of those here. Beautiful things, smaller pieces like that. So that's how my working here at Pilchuck has been, same kind of process of working, come over here, get used to the place, make plans or drawings, not specific drawings, just very sort of sketchy, as you can see. So the piece itself, it's not a sketch per se, but the piece becomes also part of the artwork. So this could be used, maybe, for my drawing in the center here, the plan for my cylinders. They're not cylinders, they're Where are they? What shape is this?
Cone.
Cones.
Okay.
Yeah, cones, yeah. My cones. For my cones here, see, and here. But the pieces, they also complete drawing or painting. Works on paper, because it's not really a painting, but it's on paper. Sometimes I do rough things, like this, when I take it to the glass shop. And I hand over to the glass shop and execute them. A little bit more specific, not really that specific, because I can't visualize them that specific. It takes such a transformation between the drawing and the glass, you can't really go by. Just an idea, not vague, but not specific either, sort of between, that's the drawing of the tree. Another drawings here, just experimenting, doing all this stuff. I think it's not just a combination of just thinking about the glass. You want to think of the overall aspect, the whole gestalt of art making. So glass happened to be the center here, but in my case, just the whole process of painting, sculpture, craft, In other words, you get involved with materials, colors, the whole thing. It's okay. Leave it on, I like it. To produce those objects, it just doesn't seem to be one limitation, Just use everything I can get my hands on, in other words.
It's okay.
Richard fixed my life here. But you stay, that's okay. Oh, sure. So we also work in collaboration here too. It seems to be a nice place to work together. Seems to be this. A lot of egos involved, but we seem to adjust to each other. We don't have too much of, let's say, divisions, between one person and another person, or the person who works here fixing the lines, or the artist that works in the studio. We seem to blend in very well. It's very conducive to that kind of a relationship, because, like, I need him, to fix my life, to help me with my things, and we need each other, that's the point. It's like a symbiotic relationship here. So we have to work, It's very interesting, that probably point too. I'm trying to bring a electrician in, but it's interesting about the stage, kind of sound, everybody helps each other, but so you have to. You just can't be alone, groups work together, and it's very interesting. What happened, actually, in this case. Well, anyway, so that's the condition at this point I'm thinking about this right here, about this drawing. I have to spray it now. Again. So it says Mama. Che dormiamo alla montagna, mother, let's go back to the mountains. And Maestro Pietro likes this saying here. So I'm doing two pieces, which is the mountains here, there's some abstractions of the tree. But see, the tree is a trademark of mine. I use this all the time. It's not, that didn't come, I've been using this tree for the last 15 years. The cypress. It represents life. Any place you go to a sacred kind of shrine, like it's always has cypress and water. It's not. People say cemetery. It's not cemetery at all. On the contrary, it's about life. It's not about death. So I use them. They don't create any shade. They're windbreakers. They don't create anything. They're just beautiful objects, beautiful things. The cypress. They're not really any good. They're not really very good for shade. They're good for burning. They use them, but that's not the point of using them. They don't make them sew them off, cut them off, and make wood out of it. I don't know. They're using. I don't know what they. I don't know basically what their purpose is about. I just like the way they look. I don't make any big deal about it. I like something the way it looks. I use it. If I don't like it, I don't use it. I use it for a while, and I use it again, and so. So anyway, that's the point about the cypress right now. It's been raining today. It's kind of nice when you get rain. In this area, it rains a lot. it rains here, it's very exciting. It's really changing the whole atmosphere. It's conducive to work. It's nice. It rains outside. Listen to my music inside. I draw. I contemplate. You know, take it out and make the object. Although the most exciting is when the object comes out of the furnace. You know. And then you take it out here, you look at it, and it goes out to the cold shop, and it's cleaned up, and we're back again to the studio. It's a greatest satisfaction when they're finished. So, go ahead. Something up there, you know. Maybe you can zero it.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah. Those are lantern slides.
Great.
Beautiful.
Let's see if I can get it.
I love this 19th century kind of socialist life, you know, the woman here feeding the cows, like Millet. See, here's another one here. It's beautiful.
Hold it back a little bit more.
See, that's the woman feeding the chicken.
I can't get it in. It gets too blurry up here.
Don't worry about my hand, just so you can get the...
Yeah, it won't focus. It's still
Won't focus.
blurry. How about far? No. You can just kind of see it, but it's all fuzzy.
That's okay. That's Millet I talked about, see? Millet,
Uh-huh.
women feeding the chickens. It's a pastel drawing. This is Corral. That's how they used to show slides, you know, in the art history
Like this?
departments. Yeah, that's where the slide project.
Maybe stand about 2 more feet that way. Let's see. Oh,
Can you
this
see
works. Yeah.
Can you,
Yeah.
Let me put the Millet out again. I like the Millet. Right here. The woman feeding the chicken.
Yeah.
You can see that?
Not real well, but we can see it enough better than a minute ago.
That's something else. Here we go. Oh, I love this one here.
Yeah.
It's Bouguereau.
And where are these from?
Bouguereau is, everybody hated him. That's the people, the Impressionists were against him, you know. That's the people revolting against him. People like Cézanne, you know, the Impressionists. This kind of realistic, sentimental painting, you know. It's totally out of fashion now, but it's interesting. See, it's very important to me to look at this stuff. Here's a beautiful one. Two women carrying, one woman carrying a child and the other woman carrying a bag full of stuff. Don't know what. Anyway, this is sort of interesting. These glass slides that I don't really use them. I just sometimes go ahead. Sometimes sometimes you have to have things to distract. Sometimes you have things to distract you from the idea of concentration. For example, if you're really concentrated and you think, and I need something to distract me from it, to relax. So so I can go back to the thing again. So I have to have things like books, magazines, and lantern slides in this case. So I go to it, distract me, then I go back and I see the work much more fresher. That's what happened here. So that's why I have all these things around me all the time. Not that I sort of need them. Same thing with a Duchamp, when he did the wheel in the bench, he fabricated that wheel. He said the wheel here, with a, so every time he got bored with painting, he wasn't a very good painter anyway. So he stopped and he just moved the wheel, and the wheel goes on and on and on for, I don't know, a couple of minutes or a minute or whatever. And then when the wheel would end rotating, he would go back to work again. It was like this was a machine that he meant to distract him from the activities of painting, which he didn't even like to do it, and he wasn't very good at it. So he kept inventing other things, so he kept him away from painting. See, that was, anyway, that's my concept, I don't know. That's the way I think about it, I mean, that's not what some people think about it. So, that's why those things, this year I don't hit very much, Like I had flowers and the years before. I made more of a plan. This year has been short, I haven't been here very long, but it's much more filled with things in my studio than now. Anyway, okay. I think we should stop.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's go now and we're going to go out again. I love this rain. So can you get it?
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful painting by Van Gogh of the rain. Can I have a copy of this thing?
Never what?
Can I have a copy of this tape?
Oh, sure.
Maybe it worked from here this morning. Look. Good morning. Good morning. Can I do some work this morning?
Yes.
Good, good. Then I can work here maybe a little bit better.
And when,
So we can do some work here. You just came to get me.
For you. Yeah,
Yes, I know. I was
just went
waiting.
over
So
there.
come close to me. This is my assistant, Lolly. She's been very, very good. Very inspirational to me. Without them, I couldn't have done anything.
oh, that's
But it's
not
extremely important to have the teamwork. The way I talked about Pilchuck. We work here together. Seems to be like a little bit of a, there's not too much, a little bit of intrigue, but not so much. So we can really coexist here and do a very good job. And I want to show her some of my prints.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Can we show, I want to show, can you
Yeah.
pull up one of my prints from in here? So I just pulled one up to show you. Yeah.
I have to set up.
Prints?
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
I'm gonna-
I thought you can work with me too, but if you're not, you wait for this afternoon, it'll be better.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, honey,
Because this afternoon I'm gonna blow glass, so.
okay, yeah. I can change my schedule and do it in the afternoon instead.
Right, that would be very good, thank you. Okay.
Holly, I'm just gonna undo this, okay?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
I don't want to tape on.
I had to make it people-proof.
I know. Whoops.
I know, a lot of people going through and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm doing?
What? Okay. Yeah. It's really wet.
It's
Okay,
really wet.
No problem.
Now, let me show her one.
Try to get these
One,
out.
yeah.
She's got some really
Yeah.
true
I know,
people.
this is some of the pieces that I did. Oops. It's gonna be glued on.
Oh, that one.
Oh, these are all unfinished on the very top. They're the ones that I have to print another color and then glue.
Okay.
Let's go back, it's okay, sorry.
Do you wanna?
And I just want to show her one of the pieces, that's all, anything, to tell her about the print, anything that's
Okay, so
finished.
you want your bag?
Yeah, we can do that for me.
Yeah. You want anything else?
You know, a cup of coffee. Bring her a cup of coffee. Anybody else wants coffee? Would you like to have a cup of coffee?
I have tea.
Would you like to have a cup of coffee, Holly?
No, I have some tea down here, thank you.
All right, just one for me
So
then.
that's one of
Okay.
the prints,
All right, back in class.
Goes the other way.
Oh, and I have something else for you.
like this.
Yeah. they have a very logical thing. You know, it's not really a print per se because we always use collage. So what we did was that, which I did last year too.
You want to hold it up for me then?
Yeah, sure.
We didn't quite get it all the way yet. That's great.